What's going on, everybody? Josh, Mindset Mafia here. As promised, a few of you, I am going to do a overview of my takeaways from the GSD event in Atlanta. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button below and follow along for more things coming up. So first off, the event was in Atlanta with the GSD group. And shout out to Ken Joslin and his team for the amount of effort and work that they put into it. We had some amazing speakers, and I look forward to going to next year's. So we'll dive right into it, guys. It was a great event. We had lots and lots of connections made and everything like that. So right away, we had the legend John Maxwell come on and talk to all of us. And his biggest thing was be transformational and not transactional in everything that you do in business. And what he means by that is be willing to build a relationship, give back to other people before you're expecting a transaction. And he's basically built his entire business off of it and written tons and tons of books that we all know of. So there's a new book supposedly coming out, which is going to be called Return on Failure, which is kind of cool because he's going to be talking about the instead of a return on investment, it's going to be a return on failure. So it'll be kind of a cool book. Odd fact about John Maxwell, I guess he writes all of his books longhand with a legal pad. So I thought that was kind of neat. 3 tips that he gave us was keep failure and success together. Number 2 was understand the difference between good and bad misses. And number 3 was embrace the hard. He's a great speaker. I've never heard him before, but it was really good to kind of get some points from him and hear him live instead of watching him on YouTube beforehand. And then the next up was Mr. Ken Joslin himself did a quick speech, and he talked about being authentic, or authenticity and humility are the 2 keys for you to be successful in your business. And that was kind of a theme from a few different speakers that we talked or had on the event. And so really just think about that in your business and see what it is for you. It said, be a person of vision and action, because, you can have all the vision you want, but if you have no action, it's not going to go anywhere. Then we had the Jesse Itzler up to do his speech. He showed up with a DJ, which I thought was really cool and unique in his own way. And if any of you guys haven't heard Jesse speak before, he has a very unique story, and it's great to hear him giving it out to more people. And he just added that twist with the DJ, which was kind of cool. One of his tips that I got from him was biggest differences won't be in your business plan. And what he was talking about by that was if your business plan, you have all these steps and everything that you're going to take to get the business going, those pivotal moments will be when you pivot your business to get to where you want to go, right? And one of the examples he gave was if 2 of us were to get in a car and travel from Atlanta to California, we get halfway there and there's a bunch of traffic. One person will turn around and just say, no, I'm not doing it, and go back to Atlanta, right? Second person will be like, no, I'm going to stay in traffic and just tough it out. And the third will see that there's a path up the mountain and around and zigzag back and down and then back to the trail and on, right? And so that's what he means is you're always going to pivot, but continue going to the direction you want for your business. But we always have to learn to pivot when those things come up, because you're not going to pass up on a great opportunity if it comes and it's not technically in your business plan. So keep that in mind. What else can I give you guys? A lot of speakers said never negotiate on your goals. David Meltzer got up and he talked a lot about gratitude and your non-negotiables. And I think that's really cool because he talks about things that you're not going to negotiate in your journey, right? So things that are very important and crucial to you in your journey that you are not willing to sacrifice and give up, and tasks that you need to do every day so that you can stay productive in what you're doing. So those were the tips from him. And then it was kind of cool. He gave us all his phone number so that we could give 5 minutes of his time for everybody that was there. So that was kind of neat because, I'm sure he's a busy guy, and for him to give his number out and tell every single person at this event that he's going to give us 5 minutes of his time is invaluable, right? Anthony Trucks got up. I've never heard of Anthony before this. He was a great speaker. He came out and started his thing and said, the last person you want to meet on your deathbed is what you could have been and your potential that could have been there, right? I think that's huge because we always talk about potential that's uh, locked away. And one of my favorite quotes is the place with the most potential is the graveyard, where people haven't used their potential and it just went to waste. Anthony said that when he was explaining his story, that it is hard for us to see the label from inside the jar. And what he means by that is, as we're going through our journey, we're inside the business or inside the situation. We can't always figure out what's out on the outside of the business or outside of our life and what's going on. And he's just trying to give you a perspective on what to try and see the outside of that jar, right? And step back or get some opinions on the outside to help you move forward with your business. Daniel Gomez got up. He was really good, talked a lot about affirmations and the power of the word that you speak to yourself and what you tell yourself, how you speak to yourself. We all have that. We all talk in our minds a little bit about, each situation that goes on. We're always like, oh, you shouldn't have done this or blah, blah, blah. That small voice in the back of your head is crucial to see what that voice is saying and monitor why it's saying that and how to change that, because everything that you tell yourself will reveal on the outside, right? So really be cautious about what you're listening to, what you're tuning into, and who you're taking certain advice for when you're going through this journey. What else do we got? This was a cool one. This was from Daniel as well. So if you're writing down your goals, if you go and tell or speak your goals after writing them, there's a 40% chance more likelihood that it will happen. If you go and phone a friend and tell them that's what you're doing and whatever your goal is, there's an 80% chance more likelihood that it will happen. That's pretty cool. Ivan Ans came up. I've never heard of Ivan before. I got fortunate enough to get one of his books. Actually, I think everybody in the theater got the book because he brought enough for everybody and he signed it. His really cool thing was he was talking about the difference between a founder and a CEO. And he came up with the thing called the CDO, the Chief Dream Officer. And what Ivan does is he's the visionary and the founder of everything that he's doing, but he's not the day-to-day guy and not the guy that runs everything on a daily basis. And that's what he has CEOs for. So he is the one that keeps the vision going, shows everybody what direction we're going and how we want to get there. But he doesn't do the day-to-day operations and in the field stuff. He directs the ship as needed when he needs to. But he's the visionary. He's out there running the message, getting in contact with more people, and reporting back with his CEOs for an update and seeing how they can steer the ship back to the end goal. Randy Garn talked about stating your intentions clearly in every relationship or partnership that you do, right out the gate. I think there's a lot of times that we kind of like try to, it happened to me, right? You're talking with somebody, you don't really understand where it's going. You think there's a sale coming or a sales pitch or something. And he's just talking about setting those clear intentions with the people that are you're dealing with, right? And just be very clear and concise on what you expect out of that relationship, where you see it going, and what you kind of want out of that person and what you want to give them. Randy talked about gratitude, and so did a lot of the speakers. Gratitude kind of seemed to be the theme of the event, which it is very important in everything you do. Don't forget to be grateful for where you've come and what you've accomplished so far. Randy has a cool thing, though. He does, I can't remember if he does it daily or not, but he writes down 5 names, whether it be daily or weekly, and he will phone them or give them a personal video message every week or when they're on the list, whatever day that is, and just tell them that he's happy they're in their life and thankful that they have, done business together, that their partnership, that they have a relationship, whatever that happens to be. I thought that was really cool because we often forget those that have come along the journey with us and don't remember to go back and give that gratitude to that person that helped us in our business, in our relationship, or our world, or whatever that might be for you. Jen Gottlieb got up. She killed it, made a really good speech as well. As many have said before, you're one relationship away from changing your life. And then she gave us a creation process, which is this. So, step one is see it. Step two is believe it. Three is do it. Four is receive it. And then five is repeat it and repeat it over and over again. She actually added one with 3.5, which was do it again and again and again until it comes to receiving it in step four. So, I thought that was kind of cool. On to day two. First up was Craig Siegel. So, Craig, I've never heard Craig speak. He's been doing this for about a year. He has a pretty cool story with where he's come and the shift that he's made and everything in his journey in that fairly short period of time. So kudos to you, Craig. But he said, find clarity. What are your gifts? What is your passion? And figure out how to marry the two and make a business out of it, right? I think that was super cool because we always hear about people wanting to have more passion for their business and what they do on a daily. And we see so many people that don't enjoy their job. And I believe it's something like 80% of people hate their jobs and don't want to be there. So, really, if you're sitting down and thinking about that, really see what you want to do and what you enjoy, as well as what you do best with the least amount of effort. And that is something I got from Steve Harvey: is your gift is the thing that you do with the least amount of effort. What else do we got? Craig talked about vulnerability. Vulnerability is a powerful tool. And then he just asked, he says, why not you? Right? There's plenty of people out there doing it that are less experienced, don't have the motivation, don't have the skill set, or whatever it is. So why not you? Can't you do those things well? Brad Blazer got up there. If you guys don't know who Brad is, he's the $2 billion man, raised $2 billion in capital for, I believe it was for a real estate deal or something along those lines. Maybe it was his oil rigs, but unfortunately I didn't write that part down. But he has a course that he does that teaches you how to raise capital for virtually any type of business or thing that you're doing. So if you ever need to check something like that out or want to learn to raise capital, by all means, check out Brad Blazer and take some stuff from him on how he does it. The tips that we got from him at the event on how to raise capital were: one is perception. When you meet somebody, their hands shake, the cards, the dress, etc., the way that person is and what attracts you to that person, kind of thing. Two is temptation, reason to or not to, with questions. Step three is connections, connected to you, social media, right? Being out on there, talking about what you're doing, getting your message out to people. Four was validation, pitch your heart out. Five was attachment. They want you to be successful, sorry. Once people are invested with you and doing business with you, they want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you fail, right? Especially if they've put money up into your business, they want to make sure that you're going to succeed. And five was affiliation. So by that is, once you finally have that investor partnership, whatever it might look like for you, you want to then ask them to introduce you to other friends of theirs, or word it in a way like, who do you know that I should know, or see if you see them talking with somebody along the road and you want to be introduced to them, ask them to make an introduction, because then it's not a cold call, right? And it just makes that next step that little bit easier, because that next person could be the one that changes your life. Gary Brecka got up. Gary is part of the 10X Health Systems, partnered with Grant. He talked like tons of stuff about medical, guys. Like, I can give you a few things from Gary, but really you should just look up Gary Brecka on YouTube and follow him on social media. He has a ton of content that he can put out for you guys, or has put out for people, that you can go back and look and read on what your situation is. But he really touched me. Excuse me. I don't know if you guys if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see a video in there where I got pretty emotional when we were talking to Gary about my uncle and his Parkinson's. So go ahead and check that out. The one thing I did like that he said was, if your morning is hard, your day will be easy, because I think there's a lot of keys to our morning routines and what we want our day to look like. Has a lot to do with what we do in the morning and how we set up our day. Right, getting up, doing your breathing exercise, getting up, doing exercise. Have your morning routine. Whether you get your coffee, eat your breakfast, whatever that happens to be for you. Really, just look at what your routine is and try to stick to it the best you can. Right. For me, I get up at 4:30 every day now. I immediately get up, have a glass of water, and go for a walk, get out into the cold air, get my lungs going, take the dog with me. Then I get back, I do some weights, and then I kind of get on with my day from there. Um, Russ Yeager spoke. He talked a lot about fitness and your um, your health comes first before anything in your business. Because one of them was talking about that if you could have $1 billion asset within your company, would you not want that to stick around? Well, you are that $1 billion asset in your company. So if you're not healthy and you're not looking after yourself, the business is going to struggle down the road. Um, Brian Covey got on. He's the owner and founder of Loan Depot. He was talking about mindset and rewiring your brain and how you can rewire your brain. um, get clear on your vision and beliefs. And Brian was the one that talked about integration with your life. So he was the one mentioning that, if you need to do fitness and you say you have a half hour that you have to do that day of running, right? When you want to integrate your life, by that he means if his daughter or son needs to go to soccer, he will take them and be present in the kids' lives. But then he will also do his exercise while he's there, while the kids are playing sports, right? And so he's multitasking and getting multiple things done in one fell swoop, so that he can have that more time freedom in a different situation versus trying to then take the kid to soccer, get home, then work out. Right, it drags his day out longer. So I thought that was really cool, and integrating everything you do in your life. Whether that be 5 minutes on the phone with a relative or a brother or whatever that is, just keep that close to you and what you want to do every day or every week, whatever that is, so that you can stay connected to your friends and family. Um, yeah, so Mike Ashabi got up and he talked about your why, and he said that your why has to have a pain point to pull in your action. When he started talking about goal setting, he was talking about writing down your why first, then your goals, because it helps you to connect as to why you're doing all this, right? For me, I'm going to now start doing that. I'm going to write my why, then I write 10 things I'm grateful for, and then I write my goals from there. Your mess is your message was a thing that we got from uh, Mike as well. And then Melissa Javogel got up. She really touched us on, like, you know, we get caught up thinking that all these small things are big deals to us, right? Like, and the small things compound, and we think it's, oh, poor me, poor this, whatever. And then you hear somebody like Melissa get up, and Melissa had a stroke and now has a disease or illness where her brain is too big for her skull, and she could really almost die at any point, right? And here she is up on stage giving us this great speech that, most of us, it would put us into a devastated spot, and we'd be worried about what's going to happen. But she's up there giving it her all and giving us this speech so that she can benefit other people. She could very well die the next day, but she's up there giving it her all, and it just kind of makes you have a perspective on your issues when you see somebody like her up there just crushing it. Her biggest tip was knowledge without execution is treason to your potential. We've talked about this a couple times now. A lot of them talked about your potential and not capitalizing on it. You don't want to take your potential to the grave, guys. Our last speaker was Gove. So Brent is a realtor with EXP. He's got, I believe it was 25,000 agents. Don't quote me on that he has in his team. But he said, be more present in your life, learn to be present. By that, he means, like, we're all caught up in our phones and everything these days, and we're not active in that conversation or that relationship. And so he's saying, like, really be present in everything that you do with those relationships. If you have a 5-minute conversation, put your phone down, really listen to the person and take in what they're telling you versus listening to respond, right? Not often do we actually listen and listen to the person. We listen to respond, and we often miss key parts of what that person's trying to tell us. Again, he talked about being transformational, not transactional, and he recommended that we all watch the Cinderella Man movie. And that was pretty much it, guys, for the event. So um, Ken and them will be doing the event again next year. It was really great. I had definitely recommend it to anybody that wants to go. The GSD team is doing some cool stuff. I have a meeting on Friday with Ken to, I think, probably to talk about next year's. But it was really great to meet some good connections and get out back to a live event. So I highly recommend it. We've got GrowthCon around the corner. And if you guys need anything or you need to reach out, please, by all means, shoot me a message. I put my website in the chat, and you guys can find me on Instagram at Josh Mindset Mafia. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, guys. And I hope this was brought some value to you. And I look forward to the next video. Thanks.